In this video, I'm going to be mixing down a full track. It's kind of like a Moombaton, trappy kind of track, and I'm going to be mixing down from start to finish. This is going to be the video number 1 in the whole series of mixing down, so let's get to it. What's up, guys? It's Tom here from Peep This, Peep'n Academy, and teaching you business, production, and mastery of yourself and music. And I wanted to make this video because lots of people have been asking about mixing down and how I mix stuff down. And there's a lot to it. There's a lot of process involved to it. There's a lot of time that's involved in it, and a lot of it has to do with just having a room or headphones or something that you can really hear like what needs to be done in the mix, and then also just going through step by step and just kind of knocking things off the list. So I'm gonna be going through all this. This is a track that we did with Monkey Twerk. We have it coming out here pretty soon. I'm not sure. We probably give it out free. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. But I wanted to give you a preview into the kind of steps that we do for doing the mix down. This will be part 1, as I said, and it's going to be just the drums today. Then next week I'll be getting into like the leads and the vocals and all that kind of stuff. All right. So this is a track. I'll just give it a little playthrough. And at this point, I just want to say too that there are no it's just the arrangement part. So like I have like basically no effects going on in it on each of the channels. Like I have some of the bass stuff, like there's literally no effects on anything. So I'm going to kind of explain that process of mixing stuff down. Also, I have some reference tracks up here that I use. So this one, these like Burn Up the Dance is completely out of the BPM range and shit, but I use this just as an overall reference to get how, like, when I'm looking directly at the computer, I want to like feel where exactly all the sounds are going, like the bass, like where that should be in relation to my bass. Because a huge thing is like with sub bass, I feel that people it just doesn't really like there's a disconnect between what people are doing and what they think they're doing. So like the sub bass will just put a sub underneath, but there's more elements to that. So I need just to reference it. So I have this one. I just feel how the bass sits in that one, what's in this one. Again, listening to the low end and that shit because that sounds super crazy. And again, just kind of getting some references from those tracks. All right, so I'll play my track through. Just some basic intro stuff. Oh shit. And then I just add some hi-hats in here. And then same basic breakdown, a little bigger build up, and then it drops into. So that sounds pretty cool. So now I'm going to try and make it super duper fat. So usually what I'll go through, I have all the drums already kind of leveled off. So I'm just going to go through them, just do some little spot EQing. Usually, like when I mix stuff down, I'll go through everything and just cut out some of the parts that I don't need. And then I will... I'll cut out some of the parts I don't need, and then go back and then mix it in like with the other things. So shit like this. So I know I know the kick. So I have this fab filter over here, and I'm just going to move this to the end of the chain. Put that one down. So fab filter, and turn that on, and it is I rolled it off at at 27.5 hertz, and I'm going to, and that's just to cut off the super duper lows. So honestly, you can't even notice, you can't even hear it really. So I'm just going to do this because I put this at the end of the chain so that it just cuts out any lows. And it's also in zero latency mode. So that means that it's going to, it's not going to morph the wave table or the wave shape when you cut it off. It's like the proper one you have to do that one. That didn't make any sense. The proper technique you should use to cut off the low end. Then, so I'm going to do that again for my snare as well. So I'm going to look. And again, I would use these Ableton EQs, and I would also use Fab Filter to boost and cut anything that, like the frequencies that I don't like need or want or anything like that. So again, so I listen. Zoom in here. Loop that. So I usually go past to where it's supposed to go and then drop back. Boom. Okay, so that now let's look at these clappy things. These are going to have some low end frequencies you don't need. Even if they don't have low end frequency, I'm just going to still cut this stuff off. Okay. And honestly, sometimes I go like, because Fab Filter is such a powerful one, I do like using these EQs for stuff because I can just see what's on there. But yeah, sometimes I'll go into the deep with the Fab Filter because it's just such a powerful EQ. So then in this too, I would listen really in depthly. So I would listen to, I would make a little one of these things, drop down to curve. And then I'm also just listening. For stuff that I just don't like in there. And I should probably have done that with the snare as well. Oh yeah, that's why I like to do this. First. So yeah, so I like to leave this one, I leave this at the end and then do this whole thing first. So that actually sounds better with a little bit dipped out right there. And then this one, where did I dip that out at? And this one, what I could do is just put this at the beginning of the chain. And then duplicate it at the end of the chain. And then take off this shit. Yeah, there's just some shit in that area that just doesn't sound nice to my ears. Then go to the next one down. And again, really, you can't really go wrong with cutting off stuff. Like the low end frequency stuff. So this is nice. That, I'm just going to take out a little bit there. It kind of just hurts my ears there a bit. So that's those three drums taken care of. Then I will go on to the bigger loop little bit, right, that I have right here. This little delayed snare, so I know for sure this has got some low end shit. I might even take some of the top off of that. Just stuff that I don't need in the mix. So then, because that's just the delay of the snare. Okay, that's that. Then I have this off there, and then I also make sure that all of this shit, like, that there's no clicks or pops or anything like that. And at the end of this one, just how it's faded out at the end, so there's no weird sounds going down. Okay, then I have also this weird thing. Which I don't know why it's not playing. Oh, I turned it off? Oh yeah, I turned it off. Yeah, I think I decided that I didn't need that in there. When I mixed it down, I just didn't need it in there. I'll go this one. So these are my hi-hats. So again, just gonna go into here, cut down. These things have lots of shit that we need to cut out of. So I think that sounds good. Okay, good. And I'm just gonna see. Okay, good. And I also have, I have these. Just turn those down a bit. So then, and then I gotta replace, oh shoot. I'm gonna replace all this shit. Because I changed that one. Oh, okay, and then these are different. So then after that, so after I cut off the lows on that stuff, and I took out a little bit of this, and I compress it a little bit. So I still want to maintain the punch, and I want to give it a little bit of release. And again, I'll go back and fix the volume level throughout the mix. Then this one, what's this sound? gonna leave that for right now because that sounds pretty good too. What's this? This is some sort of top loop. Oh, I took this out. So this one is also good, but it probably has some low end bullshit. I just threw this in here for variance in the song, so that didn't make any difference. So I just want to cut off some of the lows there. Perfect. Let's see this one. Delete this whole section. Oh, I turned all these. I didn't turn all these. I forgot to turn these back up. All right. So again, when for just a mini mixing part, I'm going to listen to all of it, or I'll listen to this part. So I think I left these blank because I'm going to modulate these, or I'm going to make them, just draw them in myself with that controller. Okay, let's go with this one. So this will probably have some low end bullshit. Yeah, so everything kind of cut below there. Not really doing anything for the mix. Let's check this one. So I notice I have these pan on the sides, so that when this kind of comes, but when this one's coming in, because this one underneath is going to be coming in the middle. This, by the panning this one, I'm just moving it to the sides. And if this is the center of where I'm listening to, it's kind of just going this side. Instead of like the super far, it's just in the middle. Good. Now I'll mix these things. Again, this is just a snare roll. So I'm going to cut that off there. And then go into these little things are going to be important because they're going to be overlapping a whole truckload. So this is just the first stage of the mixdown. I'm just cutting out all the stuff I don't need right now, because the bass is going to be in this little area, so it doesn't really fucking matter about this bullshit. Okay. So all this just to there. So this one has lots of low end content, but notice I'm side chaining it to the kick drum. I have a soft neon there. And I hear this, so I don't know if I necessarily need that. We'll listen to that in the mix in a little bit. Let's move this over here. Let's go to this one. So again, that literally is making no difference with the sound. So then I would listen to all, so now I go back. So this is the drums kind of initially mixed. And then, so I go back to this area, and then I'd listen to these two combined. Oops. I'm gonna loop that, and I'm gonna solo these two. So I might make this one a little bit wider. So I would use, where is it? Audio. Where am I going here? So I'm going to use this S1 imager on this. So I actually don't really even like that on there. I'm just going to put it a little bit over to the right. Just so I can hear it, just so it gives it a little bit of space. Then I'm going to listen to this. So those two are kind of mixed down. Then I'm going to go over to my Moomba part. And I'm going to listen to all of these things together. So there's lots of high-end stuff being taken care of that, so I don't really need. So I don't need that other stuff. Now just listening to this. Might throw some reverb on that. So now I think that sounds pretty balanced overall. Then I would listen to it. Then I just listen to it all together. And I noticed that some of these are pretty high. So then I would select all of these. Oops. Select all of these ones. I think that sounds pretty fucking sweet together. Then I would go in, and usually I'm just doing this to get some levels right and get the drums kind of sounding good together. Then I usually mix the kick and the bass together. So like I'm just getting this kind of like as a preemptive thing. So I'll just go through here and then I'll add the hi-hats. And I was listening to the hi-hats. What I'll probably do is, because there's lots of room in there, as soon as a little bit later in the mix, I will duplicate these and put them on the sides. Maybe I'll do that right now. So duplicate. And I'll probably put them like 25 on each side. Maybe 30. And then I'm going to speed this up. Make 4. And speed this down 4. So it actually sounds pretty good, but then I'll select both of them because there's still some stuff coming through the channel. And that sounds pretty good for right now. Alright, I hope you got something from that, and if you have any comments about this tutorial or if you have any questions about what I was doing in it, hit me up in the comment section below. I read all that stuff. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you want to see the next video in the series, hit the subscribe button and you'll get it next week when it comes out. And if you have any other questions or anything you want to hit me up about with music, regarding music or my life or any of that shit, hit me up in the comment section. Alright, until next week, BPM Academy, teach you business, production, and mastery of yourself and yours. Peace.